Hey guys, Mr. Bowman here. Today's learning objective is in white. We're learning to convert between measures of temperature, and I guess the key bit is the conversion of temperature units. And below in that yellow kind of thermometer, I've got a really good example of what I'm on about, and I can't remember how many times I've seen in schools thermometers that both have a degrees and a Fahrenheit, degrees Celsius or a Fahrenheit kind of split measure. So we're learning to convert. Well, how do we switch between these two? So the thing to start off with is spelling. So degrees Celsius, C-E-L-S-I-U-S, and degrees Fahrenheit, F-A-N, or F-A-H-R-E-N, H-E-I-T. And I always start off with this because they're just terribly spelt across all the classes I've taught before. So hopefully you've got that down. And the reason I find this topic quite interesting is it's a good example of algebra in the real world. And it's a good example of kind of the weird and wonderful things that come out of America. So when making this video, I was very curious, well, who actually uses Fahrenheit? I know America does, but does anyone else do? And the answer is a big no. So this diagram I got here, the orange country, just America, you got Alaska up the top and mainland America down the bottom there. They use Fahrenheit. Literally everyone else in the world in blue, they all use degrees Celsius. And why this is interesting is because when you watch TV, when you watch films, maybe watching Netflix, most of them are American made, which means the temperature references you get are going to be in that Fahrenheit reference, even though nearly all of us use degrees Celsius. So I thought this video, good video to go through, well, how do they relate to each other? And as I said before, there's a direct mathematical relationship between them, and I'll write this down. So the Fahrenheit temperature is equal to 9/5 times Celsius temperature plus 32. So that's an equation. And the only variables that we've got are the Fahrenheit temperature and the Celsius temperature. I've got two questions on the board for us now. So we're going from Celsius to Fahrenheit here, and the other way around, Fahrenheit to Celsius at the end there. As with any kind of measurement thing where you got an equation, the first thing you need to do is you need to write down your equation. Once you've done that, you need to figure out, well, what do I actually have? Do I have an F? Do I have a C? What can I substitute? And what I know here is I know C is equal to 32. So I'm going to substitute that in just over there. So let's substitute that in. So F is going to be equal to 9/5 times 32 plus 32. I'm then going to go ahead and calculate that. 9 times 32. So 9 times 32. That's 288. Divide by 5. That's 57.6 plus the 32 again. And that there's going to get me to 89.6 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's how we go there. So really all we're doing for this one is we're just using our substitution skills. Really important for algebra. When we're going the other direction, when we're going from Fahrenheit to degrees, this is a bit more interesting. I really enjoy the algebra here. So let's start off by writing down our equation. 9/5 C plus 32. We know that F is equal to 100. So we're going to substitute that in where our F is down on the other side. So 100 is equal to 9/5 C plus 32. We've now got an equation with one variable, just the C. We can go ahead and solve it. So we're going to go minus 32 minus 32. So 68 is equal to 9/5 C. We're going to go times 5 times 5. Just checking, 68 times 5. That's 340 is equal to 9C. And then we're going to finish off by divide by 9, divide by 9. C is going to be equal to 37.7 recurring. I'm going to change my recurring because I don't like recurring numbers. I'm going to round that to 8 degrees Celsius. And that there had a 1 dp rounding. And this here was a good example of how we are solving with our algebra to get that conversion. So hopefully you found this video on converting between measures of temperature interesting and useful. It's weird that America is the only country that has it, But I really, really like that there's a direct mathematical relationship between the two measures of temperature, and we can use substitution, we can use solving to convert between the two. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Now let's get into a few practice questions.